2 minutes late.
Yes, as always. Hello, welcome to Regional Property Unplugged for this beautiful Friday.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's freezing.
Put a positive spin
It's
on it, right?
freezing. And
It is a
there's
little
a
bit cold.
few little spots of rain. We're sitting down at Bobby and me
Yes,
because we can't go into a house
that's
'cause
right.
that's illegal.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
But anyway, we just do what we have to do.
Interesting times.
Hello, Shane.
How you going?
I'm on fire.
Yeah, I thought you would be.
I'm on a high. So we, just for everyone to catch up, Simon and I have been trying to purchase this property that we're renting at the moment for a very long time. It's been a long time coming and it's all happening. We're like, this close, this
So
close.
exciting.
So just waiting for settlement now.
So today we're basically talking about the emotion in buying, and because not everything's cut and dry, is it?
No.
Not every buyer's situations are, I just go to the bank, get finance, and off we go. Because
That's
certain
right, exactly.
scenarios don't always allow that.
Yeah, this is the thing.
And your situation was you'd started a pretty new business.
Yeah,
Simon.
that's right. Simon had. Yeah, so he was almost like restarted, and we sort of made a little bit of a minor error because he restarted his business after 5 years and he let go of his old ABN.
Yeah, okay.
If we had left his old ABN, he would have been home and hosed.
Yeah.
So-
and explaining that banks, they typically
That's
won't look
right.
at new business owners
With under 2 years.
under 2 years.
Yeah.
Which makes it really tricky.
It does make it tricky, but we found a product and a broker that allowed that to happen for us because
Yep.
it was 18 months, so it wasn't quite your 2 year
Yep.
financials. So we did find one, but it was still jumping through a lot of hoops. So the big four banks won't look at that.
No.
And also just other things with COVID related now that it just seems like there's more things that you got to go through.
Yeah.
It's a larger
Particularly
process.
for business owners. I know.
Yeah.
I personally, I find with a few houses this year have been for business owners, and one in particular was a 5 to 6 week finance time period where he just couldn't get his finance. He
Yeah.
couldn't get an answer because
Yeah.
the bank want more information, and
Yeah.
they feel like they're a riskier proposition to
Absolutely.
just your normal, PAYG home, workers.
Exactly.
It's really
That's
strange.
right. Yeah.
But just sort of stepping back. So a few years ago, you rented this particular home.
Yep.
You went there to style it.
We did.
It was going to the market.
It was going to the market,
And
yeah.
then you ended up, the
Vendors
vendors
changed.
decided to
Yep.
keep it. There was a
Yep.
bit of emotion with them as well. They didn't want to let go of it just yet.
Yeah.
And then you moved into the home.
We did. We blended our family, so
Yep.
it was a big step.
Big
and a
step,
big
big
thing
home,
For us.
yep,
Yeah, big
yep.
home. We needed a big home for all our kids combined.
Yeah.
So it was a big step, and then obviously we were emotionally attached as well.
Yeah, you were 100%.
Yeah.
You
big
wanted
time.
it right or wrong.
Yeah, we did.
Which
we
is
did.
great because that's why the last few days. When was it? Wednesday night.
Wednesday
Had a couple of
night.
bottles of champagne.
I had a couple of
So
bottles of
after a really long time of
Shared.
waiting, and I think the homeowners were great because they were prepared to wait for you.
Yeah, they were amazing. They have been amazing all the way through.
Yeah, they're probably wanting to sell maybe a year ago or 6 months ago, but they knew that you had a lot of emotion,
Yeah.
and you wanted this
it was
your home, pretty much your home
It's
already.
pretty much, yeah.
Right or wrong.
Absolutely, and they've been amazing and patient in that. And there's a lot of tricky things with COVID as well that it would have been harder for them as well. But yeah, so it has been a long process, and when we first went for our finance, we've extended 4 times.
Yeah.
for
So what
finance
was? So
because,
you went to contract how long ago?
6 weeks ago.
So
maybe. I think.
similar scenario to what I was saying before.
Yeah,
So it took
yeah.
you 6 weeks
Yeah,
to actually
to get an approval.
get an approval.
Yeah.
And the emotion of I think first of all it was, oh my God, we've actually secured the property.
Yeah, that
which
was like we've got.
they'd agreed.
Yeah,
Yep.
everyone
Let's go
was on
through the
board.
process.
Yep.
Agreed on a price.
Yep.
You've secured the property.
Yep.
That's the first step.
Yep.
And then the next step is knowing that you might have had an uphill battle with your finance, given
Yep.
I guess what the broker told you.
Yeah, that's right. And she was amazing.
And having to choose,
So,
was it a second tier lender?
yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So
So
that's the
second
other
tier
thing.
lenders is
Yeah.
not your big four.
That's right.
So
exactly.
they're the ones that probably you may have paid a little bit of higher interest rate to
Definitely.
secure
Yeah, so
Be given your risk.
That's right, and really, like, it probably is smarter financially for us to wait and go with the big four,
But you
wait
don't
2
want
years,
to.
but we don't wanna, because it's like, you know, we can't ask these guys to hold the property for another year or so for us.
Yeah,
you know,
but
that's
you can
just not-
refinance in that time, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So after 12 months, we can refinance, or you know, go down that. But it's just like doing all the things that we can possibly physically, emotionally, and mentally do.
Yeah.
And financially do to just secure it,
Yeah.
and then we work out the rest later. And that's where we got to. We got to that point where it's just like, okay, we're so involved in this, so invested in this, then
Yeah.
we're just going to do everything we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you
And
did pretty much.
We did.
And
we
a week
did.
ago, it was looking shaky.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, and it was just, I tell you what, like, it's easy for us to sit back and we watch this all the time,
Yeah.
but when you're in it,
It's
it
different.
brings it home, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yep, now I know exactly what these people are going through.
Yeah.
And it's both sides. Like, it's the vendor, they're waiting patiently as well.
They want to get to the next
costs
stage.
for them.
Yep.
Because the extension, you know, and I think this is where it comes down to, is that now we have actually done it, is that it's really helpful to help other people realize that the process is now lengthy,
Yeah.
given COVID, and these are the times we're in,
Yeah.
because there's more processes, because we can't do face-to-face,
Yeah.
go in, apply. There's lots of different processes, government changes in how they run things, policies, everything's changed. It's not quick anymore, so it's
Yeah.
really like, okay, if we're going to do this contract, is there a way that we can have more time?
Yeah.
More time.
You had
yeah.
pre-approval, right?
Yeah.
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 It doesn't mean much.
It's not 100%.
For buyers out there now, pre-approval is crucial, because it does speed your process up.
Yeah.
So when you find that property,
Yeah.
you're pretty much ready to launch. You comfortably know that you're more likely that you're going to get your loan.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, I've had some pre-approvals not proceed based on certain things. So
Yeah, see, this is the thing. Yeah.
it's a tricky thing, right? So go back to. You know, last week, you were like, oh, you were stressing out. I was talking to you about it. I kept texting you, asking whether you bought the bloody house yet.
I know. Every text come through, Mark was
every
just
time
like,
you text, I thought
"Is
it
this the
was.
house?
Yeah.
Is it?" Yeah.
Yeah.
It was trying. It was definitely difficult.
How'd you find out?
Oh, our broker.
How'd you find out that
What-
it was
what do you mean?
approved? Did he ring you? Did he email you? Did he text you?
Oh, he rang.
Send you a
Well, it
letter.
was actually she rang.
She,
Tanya,
sorry.
yeah, beautiful Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
She rang. And
She's not from here?
No,
No?
no. She's actually is, but she doesn't live here.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll give her a plug.
Yeah,
Tanya.
yeah. Well, yeah. Tanya Simmons, and she's actually Darren's sister.
There you
There
go.
you go. So there you go. Anyway, so moving on. Yeah, she rang Simon, and
Cool.
it was just like we actually got the bank email as well. We got it separately.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew before we both together
Yeah.
knew. If you
Yeah,
know what I mean.
okay.
And then it was just like, it was
Did you
just
do like a
whirlwind.
big running when you run together, like on the beach type scenario?
No.
Surely.
Do you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
We were having a tear.
Were you?
No,
Oh,
no, not really. It was just like we were having a stressful moment about something else. It
Yeah.
was just like, all right.
You've said it out there now. Simon, pull your head in.
No. It wasn't that.
It was your
bad.
fault.
It probably was.
Yeah. You're emotional.
I was
Was it part of the
emotional.
emotion?
Yeah, it was part
Part
of
of the
that.
stress?
It was part of this stress that we've had in the last week. It was just the littlest thing.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, hang on a second.
I can't imagine you
we got
guys
this
fighting.
topic. No, we don't. We don't really.
Yeah.
No, we don't really. It was just this like high, and we're just running around after the kids and dropping
Yeah.
kids to
So
work.
it's a kid's
and,
fault.
Yeah, we'll go for
Bloody
that.
kids.
Dropping kids to work and picking them up and
Yeah.
anyway, and so then was just like, oh man, this is
It's
really
real.
happening.
Yeah.
And then we're all good after that and happy, but then it was just like, Simon's like, I just can't, until it's settlement, I can't get excited.
Yeah,
There's
it's
that
always
as
another thing,
well.
isn't it? It's like when you're
Yeah.
building, you're like, oh, can't wait for this to happen.
Yeah.
And then that happens, and you're like, oh, can't wait for the next thing to happen.
This is the thing.
How
So
exciting,
it's
though.
but it's bloody exciting because
And-
there's really nothing can stop it now.
So what did you drink?
I'm
Some bubbles?
Yes, some
Yeah.
bubbles. I'm on the 65s because I do low alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Full
It's
noise
boring.
gets me. I'm not boring when there's full noise, don't worry. But it was a weeknight. It was a school
That's so
night.
cool.
So yeah, we're
It's
excited.
an emotional time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is an emotional time. And
Yeah.
I think the big hurrah, because it's a little bit surreal, because it's been going for so long,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, why aren't we more excited? But I think it's just nervous energy.
Yeah.
And your nervous system's a little bit shot. And I think it's more that adrenaline rush come down
Yeah.
like you're just exhausted. But I think when settlement comes, it'll be
Top,
Yeah.
And you've already started to go, right, I'm just going to do this, going to do that. Which is
I've been
cool
doing that for a while,
because
but
then you can just add your own flavour. I mean,
This is the
I
thing.
think you've always felt like it's yours anyway. That's just my
definitely.
gut feeling. Like you've
Yeah.
always had that, like this
Yeah.
is our house and you're going to buy it
Yeah.
right or wrong. You know, it's such a good spot. It's, you know, it's a big home. It's
Yeah.
got, you know, you'll be
Everything
there,
you
then all
want.
the kids will leave and you're like, what am I going to do?
I'm
Which is
sure
what
I
we're
won't
doing.
have a problem.
Yeah.
But,
It's interesting. That's why I love real estate, because we get to be a part of this process. You know,
Yes.
there's a fair bit of emotion, there's a lot of stress, but it's that emotion of telling someone first of all that they've bought it. Then it's okay, well, right. Well, then if it's a finance scenario, we need to work towards that. It's a really good feeling to find out and even tell vendors that the purchaser's finance has been approved.
Yep.
It means it's then real for them. So, and then of course people don't relax until the money's in the bank
That's
sometimes,
it,
and it's actually
exactly.
everything's changed hands.
That's it.
But it's a really cool process, and I've sold some properties recently with that emotion side of it, and you know for families with kids, it's a big thing,
It's
and
massive.
it's just an emotional thing. And I went through a similar thing when I bought my family home back. I wanted it right or wrong. I was a mess, and I needed to have that property. It meant so much to me that I had to have the property. And I remember the finance period. I was a little bit like, what happens if it doesn't happen? You know, it's a great experience.
It is. It's full on. It makes it all worth it when you finally get it. I think the biggest takeaway I've got is the communication, like from real estate. We didn't have real estate, it was a private sale, but I know that this relates, and from brokers, and it's just that communication. It's just ringing up and saying, hey, this is where we're at in the process. Everything's going really well. It's still going to plan. Just letting you know, like, you know, Tanya would say, like, before the weekend, look, we've got pre-approval, you're good. Go into the weekend, enjoy it. Don't be worrying
stress.
about it. Like, that sort of communication meant everything. Like, that was just, you know, and I know that some people don't have that experience and they're always wondering, and then they think, should I ring? Like, you know, just have that worry. But yeah, like, you know, you do that a lot, and I noticed that with how you deal with your clients is that you will ring and say, hey, we're still going good, you know, we're all...
People just want to know.
They do.
Because they're, you know, their minds wander. Buyers and vendors, people aren't sure of the process most of the time, because they've either never been through it before, or things have changed with COVID. So it's you know, our role is to assure people, you know, as much as we can, and I think that's right. And it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're buying a couch or buying a car or whatever. You just want good service, and you want buying a coffee. You want to know that you're, you know, that someone's looking after you. You know, and I think that's crucial. And it sounds like your broker did it.
Yeah, she was amazing. Absolutely. Really did. And it was, because you just don't know. When there's no communication, it's just like, we always think the bad.
Yeah, you start thinking negative, don't you?
You do. You just like,
some people have that saying of, you know, no news is good news, but not when you're talking a transaction of $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. It's you know, people want to know what the hell's going on.
This is our life savings. Like this is the biggest thing we'll ever do. You know, this is for most people. You know, so it's huge. It's a huge emotional roller coaster, and it's when you've got support around you, and even for me to text you and go, hey, because I knew you'd know what it feels like. That it's, you know, because, you know, some people will be like, oh yeah, finally it's happened, kind of thing. But I knew that you knew what it felt like to go, oh.
And some people, like I had one guy said to me, oh, we just gave up. We thought the phone call was going to be that we'd missed out on our 8th property, and the emotion of them realising that finally they bought a property. You know, it's a great thing. You know, it's a really good thing, and you know, again, it can be a stressful time. It doesn't have to be as much, but it you know, as like I said, as long as you're getting the phone calls and the updates, but you know, you got a lot riding on it. Your emotion was that you'd been living in the house for a few years already.
That's right.
For me, back when I bought Mum and Dad's old house, it was that I needed to be. I wanted my kids to grow up where I grew up.
That's beautiful.
I wanted the same things for them that I thought I loved as a kid. So, you know, and that's the emotion that I think a lot of us have. You know, a lot of people say to me, I want acreage because that's what I had. You know, I want to be able to ride, I want my kids to be able to ride motorbikes like I did when I was a kid. I hear it all the time.
That's it.
So, you know, it's a big emotional journey.
Yeah.
When's settlement?
1st of September.
Oh shit, that's quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's only 11 days away.
Yeah, I know. So we're just like really like the
Party.
Yeah, they're just
Can I
like
give you a
working
dress
hard. No.
Okay.
But yeah, they're working really hard to make it happen for that, so
Yeah.
we don't have to have another extension because that's another extension that we've had to do.
Yeah.
And it's no one's fault other than just the sign of the times.
Yeah,
it's just how it is.
I think, you know, when it comes to banks and certain things like that, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more process you have to go through,
Yep.
as you said before.
Yep.
And it can slow the process down. So
it's just preparing for it. Had we been prepared for that, we'd probably be a little bit less, worried, I guess.
But you know, the best thing is about settling is you don't actually have to move.
We don't have to move.
You don't have to get the truck and move, because that's probably the worst bit about it.
Gosh,
is moving.
moving.
That's maybe we'll do one on that one day.
I actually love it. I know I sound weird.
Oh, but you do that all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But
That's
it's
what you
also a
do.
good clean out of all the stuff
True.
that's in drawers and things
Yeah.
that you've just throw away. You don't need anymore. I love it. I don't like the unpacking so much.
Yeah.
But packing up, I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big thing. It's huge. But yeah, we can just pull out the champagne for us.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Good times. Exciting.
Yeah, it's good. So, you're cold. I can see you shivering.
I'm alright. It's been raining a little bit. No, I'm happy for you.
Thank
Congratulations
you
to
so
Shonah.
much. Thank you so
Sensational
much.
property, and you know, I think you guys will love it for a long time, won't
We
you?
will for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no plans to travel anymore.
Yeah. Well, you can't do much, can you?
No. Just
So let's
stay
see if we
with
can
you.
get to Christmas without another lockdown. You reckon?
Yeah, I don't
It's not
think.
looking promising, is
It
it?
doesn't look promising at all, but someone posted the other day, let's just put some glitter on the shit show. Let's just, let's just, whatever, ride the storm, whatever.
Yeah. Everyone go to Apex Beach.
We're allowed to hang out outside, I know.
So I guess we're a little bit lucky up here, aren't we? Because
We
we
are,
aren't
we're
locked
very
down completely, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
But well done again.
Thank you, thank you.
It's been, cool to sort of see the process.
Absolutely.
Probably been a couple of years since
Be
you're like,
real
we
raw.
really want to buy this house,
Yes,
but
Scott.
you had to ride the process. Scotty
Scott
McCormick.
was asking.
What's he asked?
Scott Tween,
Oh, Scott.
did you get from... Yes, we need to get Scott on, actually, about
Yeah.
landscaping.
Yes, she did.
Yes, surely did, bro.
Yeah.
So it's I guess we wanted to have a chat about it because we want to acknowledge that we've been in it.
We're
we know
aware.
what it feels like. We
Yeah.
know what it feels like. So, we're just a call away if you need a, bit of moral support.
That's it. Time for a coffee?
Let's go and have a
go.
coffee. All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
see you guys. See you next Friday.
Bye.